Real Life with Susan Harf, our favorite life coach. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Rose Martin, and we're getting tips and strategies from Susan on how to navigate those tricky parts of life that sometimes come along and how to get by them. I can't wait to hear what's on her mind for us today. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Rose. Nice to see you, and I'm happy that you're with us too. So, today I'm thinking about what do you do when you don't like your child's boyfriend or girlfriend?
Oh, good one.
And so they're teenagers, so you're already going through the teen years. And if you're the parent of a teen, you know that you're dumb. You know nothing. They don't need your advice. And I will tell you, though, before we get into the what do you do about the boyfriend or girlfriend, they do come around. By the time they're around early 20s, for some reason you're smart again. You, as a parent, you might know something. So it does end. It does come to a conclusion where you're not dumb and stupid, and you actually can give a piece of advice, but not unless it's asked. So getting to what happens when you don't love the boyfriend or the girlfriend. This is a tricky one, and I'll start out with what you don't do. You absolutely do not forbid her to see him or forbid him to go out with her. When you do that, they will find a way they'll see each other in school, they'll make plans when they're in school. She will tell you she's going over to Sally's house, but she's really with him. You don't really want to foster all of that, and forbidding a teenager to do something is a ticket to do it. So I don't advise that. What I do advise is to hope that they will come to the conclusion themselves that this person may not be for them. In the meantime, evaluate why you don't like this person. And most of the time when clients say to me, I don't like the boyfriend or I don't like the girlfriend, seemingly it has to do with that they're not as much like them. So I think part of what needs to happen is the parent during the teenage years needs to start the process of separation. And one of the ways that teens separate from us is they start to choose people. It's almost like trying on, not an identity, but a different part of their identity. So they may date somebody for a short amount of time who really is not like the family. Maybe they're not the same religion, maybe they're not the same political persuasion, maybe they have, maybe you are in the military and the teenager's boyfriend has long hair and you don't like that. I mean, there's many ways that kids choose people who are different than their upbringing.
Exploring, discovering.
But that's what they're doing.
Right.
They are exploring and discovering. And in that exploration phase, if they choose people who aren't really, you don't perceive them as the one, that's okay. Not everybody has to be the one. And so what you do if you show negativity toward this person is you draw your child to them faster, harder, stronger. So
Exactly the opposite of what you want to do.
exactly. So what I really recommend is invite this person over. If you are someone who wants to be around your child's friends, and I recommend that as well, even not just the boyfriend or the girlfriend, but I think that it behooves you to know your child's friends, and you probably have done so from the time the child was very young. When they were toddlers, you arranged play dates. When they started kindergarten, they started meeting other children. From preschool on, you're aware of who your child is around. And it's a wonderful thing when the children want to bring their kids home. Our home was the one that the kids came to. We loved that. And so when you're around your children's friends, you're really getting a sense of what your child thinks of themselves. Because especially from the early years on, most of their choices up to the teen years are really a reflection of how they feel about themselves. If they believe they are someone who is smart and make good choices, they choose friends who are smart and make good choices. When the teenage years come, that's when some of the separation needs to begin to happen. And also, it's when teenagers are starting to create different facets of their own identity. And so they start to choose people who can help them explore that. And that does not mean to say that this person, as I said, this is not the forever person necessarily. If you treat it as such, you get yourself wrapped up in anxiety, and that only serves to put distance between you and the teenager.
Which is what you don't want to do.
Exactly, you don't want that. So I would get to know this person by having them over, encouraging your child to have them over to your house. And by the way, when your teenager is entertaining members of the opposite sex, you say to them, like we entertain our friends in our living room, we do not bring our friends up to the bedroom. So therefore, we do not invite you to take your friends up to your bedroom. Now, when teenage girls get together, oftentimes they do want to go to the bedroom because they want to look at things in the bedroom, and they want to do makeup together, and they want to do hair. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but oftentimes teenage girls gravitate to the bedroom and the bathroom, and they're doing all kind of stuff with their appearance. I don't have a problem with that. What I'm suggesting is you don't entertain your boyfriend in your bedroom. You don't entertain your girlfriend in your bedroom. And I would say to them, we entertain our guests in the common areas of the home. That is where your friends are invited to be, in the common areas. Okay, but I would definitely recommend that you invite the boyfriends and girlfriends over. You want to get to know them. Sometimes what you find out is that the things that you didn't like about them, you've exaggerated. So for instance, if the child has long hair and you don't happen to particularly like that, that's not necessarily the sign that the kid is a delinquent at all. He may be a creative. He may be an artist. He may be somebody
growing it for locks of love.
Exactly, locks of love.
Right.
That does not make somebody a bad person.
Right.
So, I think that people need to stretch. People need to understand that your children are stretching. Your children are trying on different facets of their personality. I have a client who's a very shy child, has picked a best friend who's very gregarious and very loud, and my client was perplexed by that. And I said, your child is trying to learn how to be more like that. And that person maybe is an extreme. Your child's not going to go to that extreme, but they're trying to learn from that person who isn't shy. So more, not just what I mean to say is it's not just the teenage boyfriend or girlfriend, but moreover, it's all of the friends. It really is a situation here where they're starting to separate. They're starting to become more of who they are or change who they are. They're starting to learn about that they can try on various parts of their identity, and that's the time to do it. That is when they're doing it. That's what the teenage years are for. So that's when you want to be around their friends. And I would say chances are, if you have loved and accepted their friends all through the years, if they bring somebody home that's kind of not the usual, it doesn't necessarily mean that this person's going to be around forever.
Yeah, it's just that and that's a good thing to keep in mind. They're just still discovering and exploring, and you stay stable.
Exactly. And try not to make assumptions, because what I see people doing with that is they make assumptions about who's good and who's bad, and oftentimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is Dirty Dancing, and the parents were very concerned about the dancer, but they weren't concerned about the kid with the pen in his pocket who was going off to med school. Meanwhile, that was the kid that was not
Right.
so respectful of the girl. So yeah, it's not always the kid with the pen in his pocket.
Yeah.
It's not always him who's A plus and someone that you can make assumptions about, and making assumptions negatively about others is not the way to go.
So take a deep breath. Welcome your kids' friends into your house.
That's right.
And be there as they explore who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And as they grow.
Exactly.
Great advice. Thank you, Susan. Special thanks to our favorite life coach, Susan Harf, for helping us navigate with tips and strategies, all those little tricky parts of life that we might encounter or situations that we could just use a little help dealing with. If you'd like to reach Susan, reach out to her at reallife@blueridgepbs.org. She'll be happy to answer your questions, and I know she would love to hear from everybody. I'm Rose Martin, and thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.